That's not what I heard.
He didn't get that from me.
What do you want from me?
There's nothing you can do about it. Who to believe these days.
He ran like Beliar himself was after him.
Nobody matters anything from me.
Can you help me improve my abilities?
I could show you how to use your strength better in close combat. A lot of fighters are very weak because they don't have the technique to use their strength properly. The same is true for dexterity in ranged weapons.
Nobody off myself from me.
But he knew that all along.
Will it ever change?
How are things?
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
It's possible.
I used to deal in swamp weed back in the colony. Remember?
That will never change.
And what are you dealing in now?
Ah, don't ask. I brought a whole package of swamp weed with me from the mining colony. Many of the mercenaries like a little smoke now and then. I've earned a small fortune on the side. But some bastard stole all the weed from my chest. I'm pretty sure it was that Bodo. He bunks in the same room as me, and he always grins at me like such an idiot.
What are you going to do about the thief then?
One of these days, I'll catch him puffing away on my weed. And then, I'll find a quiet spot and teach him a lesson he won't forget. If I knock him down here in the middle of the yard, the other farmers will notice, and I'll pay an arm and a leg.
How come?
Quite simple. We can't rough up the farmers, otherwise Lee makes us pay a heavy fine. That's the way Onar wants it. And the more witnesses there are, the more of a fuss there is. That makes things more expensive. So I'll pull the thing off nice and inconspicuously.
Show me your wares.
I don't have any swamp weed at the moment. Do you want something else?
If he doesn't see that, I can't help him.
No one really wants to hear that.
I agree with you completely.
Beliar himself was after him.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
I'm saying
Beliar himself was after him.
There's nothing you can do about it.
That will never hurt a thing or two.
Hello, pretty girl.
Just where did you escape from?
This is gonna change.
They say you are revolting against the king.
My father has decided that it's time we defended ourselves. The militia never helped us anyway. They only came here to drag off our provisions.
Listen, you hardly know who to believe these days.
What's your job here?
I sell the goods that we produce. If you want to buy something, just let me know. But let me warn you, I won't stand for either haggling or stealing, understood?
What kind of work is to be had here on the farm?
My father pays money to all the men who help defend the farm. Are you interested? You don't look like someone who has a passion for field labor.
How much does your father pay?
You'd have to negotiate that with him. All I know is that each mercenary here gets paid every day.
Are there any rules here that I should stick to?
You don't touch anything here that isn't yours. You stay away from the areas that are none of your business. And if you must pick a fight, stick to the mercenaries. If you start a brawl with the farmers, everybody here will be against you.
Has anything significant happened lately?
A few days ago, my father decreed that we're no longer allowed to sell anything in town. So now I'm staying here on the farm and selling my wares to visitors only.
This is the first I've heard of things out.
It's all just gossip.
Doing all right?
Hey, I know you. From the colony. What do you want here?
You don't have to tell me that. You hardly know who to believe these days.
Hardly know what to believe in.
Do you have anything to sell?
Oh, don't ask. Bennett, one of the new guys, takes care of the weapons and armor now. In the colony, I was responsible for Lee's entire weapons store. And then along came a trained smith and pow, I'm out of a job. I desperately need a new job, even if all I do is guard the farms out there. I don't care, just as long as I'm not twiddling my thumbs here anymore.
That was obvious all along.
And? Found a new task yet?
Not so far. Let me know if you have a job for me.
That's my problem.
Have you tried finding a job in town?
In the city?
Nobody will learn anything.
Wild horses couldn't drag me there. Or do you think I would want to work there as a militia soldier? I can just imagine myself in the courtier's uniform. And then that obsession with obedience. Nah, forget it. There may not be anything to do here on the farm, but at least I can do what I want.
Nobody knows go in the end.
He doesn't even know what to think of himself.
Hello, I'm new here.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm not really in the mood for conversation. I'm totally wrecked.
You're awfully busy, huh?
You can say that again. Bennett makes so many weapons that I can hardly keep up with the polishing.
What can you tell me about the farm?
This is Onar's farm. That big building is his house. He vacated a wing for the mercenaries. We farmers have had to bunk in the barn ever since. But it's all right with me. It's good that we have people who guard the farm. The building here is the kitchen. Maybe you'll be lucky and Thekla will have something for you to eat.
What about the mercenaries?
Onar hired them to keep the city militia off our backs. But they also guard the farm, the sheep, and us farmers. So don't even think about stealing anything or rummaging around in somebody's chest. They're just waiting for a chance to knock you down.
Can I buy weapons from you?
I don't have much. We take almost all the swords and axes into Onar's house.
Telling you anything new.
I do not sell any weapons. Khaled does. He's in the house with Onar.
I hardly know who to believe.
What kinds of weapons do you make?
Plain swords at the moment, not much else. But if I had some magic ore, I could forge weapons that are better than all comparable weapons made from regular old steel. You wouldn't happen to know where to find some around here. Besides in the Valley of Mines, I mean.
No.
Of course not.
Are you with the farmers or the mercenaries?
You're pulling my leg, aren't you? This forever.
I was just curious.
Have you ever seen a farmer who also forges weapons?
No.
Then why do you ask such stupid questions?
Can you teach me how to forge a sword?
Sure. That'll cost you a bit, though. Let's say 30 gold pieces. Nobody ever asked
Maybe
for
later.
opinion.
That's been never knew that.
Teach me how to forge magic ore weapons.
But you don't even know the basics. First, you need to learn how to forge a decent sword. Then we'll see.
What about forging equipment?
What do you need? I can't say you didn't know that.
All that never knew that. So don't tell me that.
Where did you pick that up, trouble as it is?
I'm better off myself.
Of course we got to deserve that.
What are you doing here in my kitchen?
Something smells delicious here.
Oh, yes. I know the likes of you. They're swarming all over the place. First, they try to get on your good side, and then when you need them, they're nowhere to be seen.
I could have told you that before.
I'm looking for work.
You want to work here on the farm?
secret.
Only Onar can decide that. The farm is his, and so is the entire valley.
And that's the truth.
Actually, I was planning to join the mercenaries.
So you're another of those felons from the penal colony? I might have known. Just leave me alone. There's already enough of your kind around here.
Tell me that isn't true.
I'm hungry.
I don't dish out food to tramps. I only feed people who work. And that mercenary riffraff, of course.
Let's wait and see what
What's your problem with the mercenaries?
Ah, those morons really get on my nerves, especially Silvio and his fat buddy Bulco. The two of them have been sitting in their corner for days now, making life miserable for me. The soup's too hot, the meat's too tough, etc. and so forth.
Nobody wants
Then why don't you do anything about it?
And what am I to do, Mr. Smarty Pants? Whack them with my rolling pin? I can do that to the farmers, but these lowly bastards just hit back.
That's totally obvious.
Want me to teach the two of them some manners?
You better not try that, honey. As far as I know, Silvio has magic armor. He can't be defeated.
And what about Bulko?
That guy is as strong as an ox. So far, he has flattened anyone who tried to mess with him or Silvio.
It happen sooner or later.
I need a place to sleep.
Don't even think about sleeping in my kitchen. Go find yourself a place in the barn.
I could have told you that before.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
It's possible. I was in the colony too.
There've been all kinds of...
How's the situation?
Right now, we've got real trouble. Two factions are building up amongst us mercenaries.
I could have told you that.
Silvio and his people doubt that Lee is following the right plan.
Rely on that.
How come there are two factions?
Most of us came out of the colony with Lee back then.
Had to happen
But
sooner
some
or
of the
later.
mercenaries hooked up with us later. They didn't come from the colony, but were farther south fighting the
Nobody
Yorks.
wants to know.
Somehow they got wind that Lee needed... He agreed that Lee was in charge, but now he's trying to stir up the mercenaries against him and his plan. A lot of Lee's people don't think that it's a big problem, but I know guys like Silvio. He'll go to extremes to realize his ideas.
Do you know what Lee's intentions are?
He really should
Lee
have known
wants us to
better.
wait and starve the paladins in the city.
I wouldn't have done that.
He is planning to get us all away from the island, and Enos knows I've got nothing against getting away from here.
There've been all kinds of rumors.
I don't really know how he's planning to go about it, but I trust
Nobody
him.
wants to know.
He's led us well so far.
That's nothing new.
Do you know what Silvio is planning?
Tell me that isn't true.
Silvio found out that some of the paladins have moved out to the old colony. He says the rest of the paladins wouldn't dare to attack us here and wants to take advantage of the situation, plunder the small farms, waylay the militia patrols outside the city, hold up travelers, things like that.
You have to feel
But
sorry.
Lee thinks that would be the worst thing we could do in our situation.
His decision, wasn't
Of course we got him in the end. I don't want to hear that anymore.
I agree with you completely. Better.
No one really wants to
Nobody ever
hear
asked
that.
for my opinion. I don't know why he gets so worked up.
He never would have thought of that himself.
Who let you in here? What are you doing here on my farm?
Everything all right here on the farm?
I don't see how that's any of your business. You don't belong on the farm.
I want to work for you.
I don't need a farmhand right now. My people see to everything else. You have no business here in the house, so get out.
You're revolting against the city, or so I've heard.
Now listen up. I inherited this farm and this land from my father, and he inherited it from his father. I'm not going to allow that greedy imbecile of a king to make off with all that just in order to feed his useless armies. The war with the orcs has been going on forever. And where do we stand? On the edge of defeat. No, I prefer to defend my farm myself. The money that I save this way can pay for my own army.
That's all just gossip.
Don't even think about touching anything here. Otherwise, you'll get a couple upside the head. Got it?
What's your job?
Onar wants me to spend all day keeping an eye on his stuff. He's worried that something will go missing, and I would too in his place. Most of the mercenaries he's hired are former convicts from the penal colony. They'll walk off with everything that isn't nailed down if no one watches out.
There's a whole bunch of junk here.
That's right, and most of it is extremely valuable. Onar collects valuable objects. A simple man like me can hardly afford such luxury. I stick to other things.
And that would be?
I collect old coins.
Has anyone tried to steal anything yet?
A few, and I caught them all.
Has anyone tried to steal anything yet?
A few, and I caught them all.
That was obvious all along. Nobody will learn anything from me. Completely.
You just have to listen.
From me. That's all just gossip.
What are you doing here?
Guarding sheep. And if possible, staying out of trouble.
Doesn't always work, does it?
Nah, especially not with the mercenaries. I'm really glad to be out here in the pasture, although it can be dangerous too.
What's so dangerous in the pasture?
There's a small pack of wolves that roams the area. Lately, the damn beasts have come by and eaten one of my sheep almost every day. A few days ago, I had almost twice as many sheep. I don't want to think what Onar will do to me when he finds out.
Why didn't you tell the mercenaries about the wolves? I thought they worked for you.
Yeah, I know. I should have done that, but I didn't, damn it. And now, with so many sheep gone, I'm afraid to tell anyone about it at all.
But you just told me.
I'm already regretting that, too.
What if I kill those wolves?
You? By yourself? I don't believe it. I'd sooner trust my bellwether to do that.
Forget it. It was just a suggestion. I'll go over to the boys and see what they say about it.
Wait a minute. Okay, you're the greatest and you can take on 100 wolves at once, no problem. Mostly they lurk between the trees near the pasture. I think there were only 4.
Hey, you! Everything all right?
Ah, an unfamiliar wanderer. I am very busy, so what do you want?
What are you doing here?
Well, the things a woodcutter and hunter usually do.
What interesting things are there to see here?
Interesting is well put. If you go deeper into the woods here, you'll run into some very evil fellows. They're about 10 feet tall, hairy, and in a really bad mood. So don't go there if you're not strong enough for them.
Can you teach me something about hunting?
Sure, but first get me something decent to eat. I'm dying of hunger out here. I want a bottle of milk, a loaf of bread, and a fat ham. Then I'll teach you what you want.
Hey, you!
been there, done that.
You have to feel sorry for the poor guy.
You should have known. I couldn't get away with that.
There've been all kinds of rumors. You have to feel sorry for him.
I assume that by now, you are well aware which of us is stronger. What do you want?
I think your hide could do with another tanning.
You just don't get it, do you?
Nothing to be had there.
Oh man, my head.
Wait a minute.
All right, you're the better fighter. What do you want?
I think your hide could do with another tanning.
What the devil do you want from me now?
I just love to watch you kiss the mud.
Oh man, my head.
Wait a minute.
All right, you're the better fighter. What do you want?
So where are we headed then?
Are you the foreman here?
I'll give you one upside the head, you rascal. If you want to go ambling across my land, you'll pay me 5 gold coins, or you're in for a good thrashing.
Your land? Are you the farmer here?
You can bet on that. Why else would I make you pay me a toll? I don't mind if you go ask the others about me.
If I have no choice, here's your money.
Thank you, and have a nice day.
How are things?
Ah, a new face here on the farm. Has the old skinflint finally granted me an apprentice?
I'm not an apprentice.
Oh, I see. I'm not as young as I used to be, you know, and I've been waiting for a replacement for years. You aren't here because the neighbors are annoyed, are you?
What's the work you do here?
Oh, I guard the sheep, and I've been doing that for as long as I can remember. The animals are very loyal and very smart, you see. If you treat them well, they'll follow you for a lifetime.
Have you seen any bandits passing through here?
I certainly have. They passed along the edge of the field near Sekob's farm and entered the forest to the north. They were carrying loads of weapons. They looked like they were all set to win the war against the orcs. Well, I'm just glad they stayed away from our farm.
What's the trouble with your neighbors?
The grass on this side of the big field is always so stunted and dry, so I mostly go to the big pastures of the other farmers. Ooh, the landowner doesn't mind, but Bengar, the farmer on the high pastures, always makes a big deal out of it when I take the animals up there. He says Sekob should pay if I take his animals onto Bengar's pasture, but Sekob won't spend a measly coin for that, so I can't go up onto the plateau anymore.
Maybe I should talk to Bengar.
You do that for me? What will you tell him? I mean, I don't want any trouble, you hear?
We'll see about that. Where can I find the high pastures in Bengar's farm?
Follow this path and cross the big crossroad. If you stick to the right, you'll see a big outcropping of rock. Behind that, to the right, are the high pastures and the pass.
Everything else all right?
Oh, I can't complain. Thanks for asking.
Find me something. I need close combat weapons.
Well, kiddo?
That's no way for a farmhand to talk to me. Just how often do I have to remind you?
Are you in charge here?
No, I'm only Sekob's son. But once my old man is no longer with us, then all the land you can see here will belong to me.
Amazing. Is that how you always treat your field workers?
Of course, they need that. Whoever doesn't toe the line here gets thrashed. That's the way it goes.
There's this guy who demands a toll from every passerby, claiming he's the farmer.
Yes, I know. That's Bronco. He does whatever he wants. Not that I haven't pounded it into him 1,000 times that he should finally get back to work.
But?
He just doesn't do it. My father's quite annoyed with me that I still haven't managed to persuade him to go back to work.
Maybe I can help you.
Do you mean that? Okay, listen. If you can get Bronco to go back to work, I'll pay you, shall we say, 10 gold pieces? What do you say?
No problem, but I want more money.
All right, 20 gold pieces then.
I want more.
30?
I want more.
Maybe 50?
I want more.
All right, 70?
I want more.
Okay, I'll give you 100 gold coins, but that's all I have.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
But hurry up about it.
How's it going?
You're not one of us, huh? I'd get out of here if I were you.
Why?
This wasn't a paradise before, but at least we were left in peace as long as we did our work for Sekob. But lately it's become unbearable. Bandits are everywhere, field raiders destroy the entire harvest, and the landowner is getting to be pretty brutal.
Are you afraid of the landowner then?
You bet. If the landowner doesn't like people's faces, he sends his mercenaries after him, and that's the last you see of them. So we prefer to keep our mouths closed.
Shouldn't the mercenaries take care of the field raiders?
I don't know what they're being paid for, but certainly not to help us common people. The field raider problem is left to the small farmers who rent the fields from him.
How do you protect yourselves against the bandits?
We don't. We run away. What else?
So, who's the nasty guy over there?
Don't get me wrong, but I don't want to get into trouble. Go ask somebody else.
Is it really true? I've got no time for things like that.
You hardly know who to believe these days.
out differently than that would be for us. Anything's possible. Been there, done that.
That's nothing new.
No idea. You tell me.
As if I know enough.
I'm staying out of it.
That's nothing new.
Show me your wares. About the experiment.
Have you been successful then? Or have you just wasted the spell scroll? Huh? If you need more spell scrolls, you can buy them from me.
Show me your wares. Could you cook me some soup?
Nothing could be simpler. Here, have a plate.
He had better shut up.
Really, how interesting.
Hey! I want to be able to handle a bow better.
Okay then, let's see if I can teach you anything. All right, your aim has become more accurate already.
And the sea released the land, and there arose all creatures.
Everybody knows by now.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
Who says things like that?
Tell me. I got my own opinion about that. I've got no time for things like that. Do you see these days? No idea. You tell me.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
That's the truth.
That's all just gossip.
No idea. You tell me.
What with?
That isn't true. You listen to the wrong people forever. You don't have to tell me that.
Interesting.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
away. Don't tell me that.
It was just like you said.
Wait a minute. Well, what have we here?
Have you no manners? That's disgusting. Oh, is this filthy rabble. Haven't you a job where you ought to be? But I suppose no one would miss a down-at-heel fellow like you, hey? Well, if you had as much gold as I do, you wouldn't have to work either. But you'll never be that rich.
I see I'm gonna have lots of fun with you. I asked you who you are.
I am Valentino, the handsome, bon vivant and ladies' man. Poor in cares, rich in wisdom and gold, and the women throw themselves at me. If you have problems, keep them. I don't need them.
Looks like I'm gonna have to teach you some manners.
Doesn't matter to me. Thrash me all you want. When I get up tomorrow, I'll be fine again. But you'll have to run around with that mug of yours for life.
Do you have anything else to tell me?
Make yourself popular. Never promise anything to anyone. Take what you can, and watch out that you don't get into a quarrel with the militia. Or with jealous husbands, of course. They're the worst, let me tell you. Just you wait. Oh man, my head.
Wait a minute.
talks too much.
I used the spell scroll.
Fine, fine. And were you successful?
Yes, it worked.
Excellent. One small success for science, but a big one for me. Now, I can use my time to instruct you in the arts of alchemy. I could also give you some useful things if you want.
Instruct me in the art of alchemy.
To prepare a potion at the alchemist bench, you need a laboratory flask, and you're going to need different plants or other ingredients for each potion.
Show me your wares.
He'd better shut up.
I can't take care of everything for everybody.
You don't have to ask for that.
I can't believe that.
He already knows how fair punishment.
That's the first I've heard of it.
Things I can tell.
It can't go on like this forever.
That's not what I heard. No idea. You tell me. That's the first I heard.
About the weapons dealer?
Show me what you have.
I found this rapier with the bandits. The letter F is carved on the pommel.
And? What else?
That's all.
That isn't enough. That could be almost anyone in the upper quarter. It looks as though you'll have to follow the trail of the bandits and the weapons delivery farther until we find out who's behind it. Maybe you should talk to Vatras again.
Tell me that isn't true.
Some don't even know how wicked they are.
Do you really believe that? He thinks it's as easy as that.
That's the first I've heard of it.
Things I could tell you. That's the first I heard. It can't go on like this forever.
That's not what my husband thinks.
That doesn't surprise me.
Hey, you! I've got Constantino's ring.
Congratulations. You passed your initiation test. Now you're truly one of us. Take this key. It opens the door to the hotel. Then you won't have to swim every time. Furthermore, you should know that we have a secret sign, a particular nod. Exactly. When you talk to the right people and make this sign, they'll know you're one of us.
Have you got a job for me?
Yes. There is a matching set of chalices. 6 of them. King Robar once captured them during a campaign, but he sacrificed many men so he could get them. That's why they're called the blood chalices. Each of the chalices by itself is not all that valuable, but the 6 of them all together are worth a tidy sum.
Where are these chalices?
They're here in town. They belong to the rich merchants in the upper quarter. Bring them to me. In the meantime, I'll try to find a buyer for them.
What's in it for me?
Either half the profit, or you get to pick a special item from my booty.
Well, well, you know the sign. I'm impressed.
Where is it worth the trouble to break in?
In the upper quarter of town, of course. But if you want to break into somewhere up there, wait until night. Everyone's asleep then, except for the city guards. They patrol at night. I know one of them, Wombo. He's the only one interested in gold. He's expensive, but once you've paid him, you don't have to worry anymore.